Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakak B'dash, and I want to say Shalom, Yakim out there pursuing this truth diligently. Coming at you once again with another lesson. And I was going to originally do a different one. I still got it up on the screen. Dealing with this whole women being over men shit that's going on Threads. But I went to the daily verses just to see what was going on and decided to come up with this little short one instead. So the random verse that I ended up getting was Psalm 62:6, and it reads, "He is my rock and my salvation. He is my defense. I shall not be moved." And with that, I wanted to title this lesson something along the lines of, without the Lord, you have no protection, or without the Lord, you have no defense. Okay, without the Lord, you have no defense. And I think that's more than likely what it's going to be, is without the Lord, you have no defense. And what I did was, of course, I got the scripture. I got a couple scriptures here, but I went on Google and I looked up, because a lot of us are familiar with football. I said, what happens when a football team has no defense? So what happens if you don't have no defense? What happens in a football team when you don't have no defense? When a football team has no defense, opponents easily score on almost every possession, shifting the game into a desperate track meet. The offense faces extreme pressure to score on every drive, while the coaching staff is forced into aggressive, high-risk play calling, and the team practically guarantees frequent losses. Okay, it practically guarantees frequent loss. So if we translate this biblically, all right, so when you have no defense, all right, your adversaries are gonna score on you all the time, all right, every single time, okay, and it's gonna shift your life into just desperation, all right, constantly having shit happen to you, constantly getting fucked up, constantly getting shit messing with you, all right. I've had, just this week, I had a cousin die and another cousin get into a life-threatening car accident, right? She was fine, but her friend that was in there went to an ICU. She had, cousin herself had a fucking concussion. So this, when you don't have the Lord, man, you're out there, you're out there playing ball with no defense, okay? And it's all offense, all right? You're trying to be aggressive. You're trying, I can do it. Then you can't, man. You can't just Patrick Mahomes your way, into everything, right? You can't. Even Patrick Mahomes, he's an excellent QB, but the thing is, he can't run every play, man. He can't do everything himself, okay? He's got to have support, okay? And our support is Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. We won't be able to do it. We won't be able to make a play without Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, okay? Well, we can try to make a play, but it's not going to work, okay? It's going to be fumble after fumble after fumble after fumble after fumble after fumble after fumble, man. All right? Giving it over to the enemy. Giving it over. Turnover. Right? So why would you want to live like that? You shouldn't want to live like that. All right? That's not something you should want. That's not something you should strive for. But that's how people are playing life, man. All right? They're playing life. And they're out here with no defense, just fucking raw dogging it. Just free balling life. Seeing how it goes, and it ain't going well for him, man. Like I said, just with the family, so-called family that, and I say so-called because, again, these are people that are technically half relatives, okay? So technically not related to me at all through blood, because it's not through my father's bloodline, but, he's a half brother. So his sister, who has a different dad than him, same mom, different dads, her son, all right, his nephew, my cousin, all right, ended up dying from fucking a fentanyl overdose. So, and that shows you, when you're out there doing this shit, living in sin, living wickedly, man, and living against the Lord, and you don't have the Lord, and I'm not talking about Jesus, I'm not talking about Yahweh, Yeshua, I'm talking about Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Without the Lord, you have no defense. You have no protection. You're out in the open, just raw dogging life, man, and you have no help. And if shit goes down, you have no help at all, right? So, like I said, I just did the random Bible verse. I wasn't even going to bring up anything that happened with the so-called family. That's why I say so-called family, because biblically, not biblically, but how the world goes. You have relatives you might not be directly related to, but they're still family because you grew up with them, right? And Yeah, man, and it's just one of those things where, like I said, I wasn't going to bring it up, but that's a perfect situation to bring up with people not being protected. And back in the world, when we're out in the world, shit was all constantly going wrong, and we had no way to help it, nothing. We were just fucking again out in the open, stranded out in the middle of water with sharks surrounding us. And what are we going to do? We don't have a life raft, a buoy, we don't have nothing. Okay, but in this truth, we do have those opportunities. So why would you try to build up a football team with no defense? That'd be the dumbest thing you can do. Dumbest thing you can do. Yet, people out in the world going ahead and doing it, right? Go ahead and doing it, and it's not working out well for them. Okay, so let's get, again, Psalm 62 and 6. But I want to get it in a couple different translations, as I do. As we all do. All right. Well, not all of us, but not every lesson, but most of us use these other translations at least every once in a while. It's my new thing that I like to do. I just like to do it this way because I feel like, Lord willing, hopefully it's more edifying and it can help it be understanding, get a deeper understanding, not only for myself, but for, you brothers and sisters watch this truth as well. Sometimes it helps. It's not that you don't get the scripture. Sometimes you just have to see it in a different wording. And it can help you, remember it that way. So Psalm 62 and 6 and the NLT says, He alone is my rock and my salvation, my fortress where I will not be shaken. There's another scripture that equates the Lord to the name of the Lord is a strong tower, right? The righteous runneth into it and is saved. So it mentions fortress there. That's a perfect analogy. NRSV, the New Revised Standard Version, says, He alone is my rock and my salvation, my fortress. I shall not be shaken. Okay. And then finally, the AMP Bible says, He is my rock. He only is my rock and my salvation, my fortress and my defense. I will not be shaken or discouraged. And again, that's Yahweh Shem Yahushua. We have that opportunity through him to have an excellent offense, an excellent defense. All right. But without him, we have a no defense and a half-baked ass offense that won't even really, it's really no offense even as there is, but, that's the only bit you might have a little bit of, all right? Being combative and argumentative and, all these different things, being, having cognitive dissonance, that's your offense, right? Your offense is using tactilized stupidity, weaponized, all right? Weaponized stupidity. That's how the world does it, right? So that's your offense is weaponized stupidity. Lord, if I can get out my tongue. So with that, it brings us to, I can actually just go back. All right, here we are, because I had this up. And it's actually it's I want to talk about this because it's actually mentioned. Now, do I want to get this one? We'll get this one. So, in the end days, which we're already in, but I mean, I'm talking about the end days when we're dealing with Armageddon. All right. Well, it's really going to be a day, not even a day. It's going to be a matter of an hour. All right. Let's prove that. Revelation 18 and 17. For in 1 hour, so great riches is come to naught. Every shipmaster and all the company in ships and sailors and as many as trade by sea stood afar off and cried when they saw the smoke of her burning, saying, What city is like unto this great city? And of course, we can get right here, Revelation 18 and 2. It says, And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the great is fallen. I'll finish up, and is become the habitation of devils and the hold of every foul spirit and a cage of every unclean and hateful bird. So that's really what my, like I say, I always mention all the time. That's why I base my, channel name off of, username, channel name, whatever you want to call it. And so that's talking about Babylon's destruction. So Babylon, modern Babylon, America, all right, United States specifically. Now, if we go back, it says, what city is like unto this great city? So that great city, all right, that's also referring to Babylon, okay? That's proof of that, because some people might not believe that. There's many different names for the landmass, the United States, all right? But Babylon, great city, North Country, and ends of the earth. I'm sure there's more, but they're just not coming to me right now. really spiritual Egypt, spiritual Sodom, likened unto Rome. Is there any more? I'm sure there is. I'm sure I'm forgetting some, but yeah, those are the main ones. And so yeah, man, this place is gonna be completely destroyed, and it's only gonna take 1 hour. So I say in the end days, but it's really gonna be the end day, and it's not even gonna be the end day. It's gonna be the end hour, right? Because it's only gonna, bam, just like that. That's it, right? Of course, there's gonna be things there, days. But it's not, the destruction's not going to take days. There's going to be judgments and other horrible shit that goes on for days. But the destruction, that's only going to be 1 hour. All right, that's only going to be 1 hour. But you're going to have all sorts of horribleness and shit going on before that. All right, there's going to be all sorts of shit. But I'm talking about the big destruction. That's going to only take an hour. But hunted by robot dogs and military invasions and martial law and chips and all this stuff, that's going to be going on for longer than just an hour. But the destruction itself is only going to take an hour. And how is that going to happen? It's going to be an aerial assault, like I mentioned just a couple days ago. An aerial assault. And we are going to be defended aerially, right? From the air. From air. Okay? It says, Isaiah 31:5, it says, as birds flying, so will the Lord of hosts defend Jerusalem. Defending also, he will deliver it, and passing over, he will preserve it. So he's going to defend us, okay, from the skies, and that's going to be those chariots, okay? The UFOs, as the people of the world call it. The clouds, as is another way that the Bible calls it, all right? He departed in a cloud, and it said, this same Yahushai, all right, or as these people in the world would say, the same Jesus, all right, who went up into the sky in a cloud shall return in like manner, all right, roughly paraphrasing. So the same way he left, which was in a cloud, it said, and he departed in a cloud, or he went up in a cloud, and they beheld him, okay? You can go and type that in, that's your homework. And it said, ye men of Galilee, why stand ye up gazing into the sky, or something like that? Let's just get it. I always try to do homework, but I just got to get it, because it's so easy to get it, right? Shall return in like manner. This is Acts 1:11. It says, all right, here, we'll start with verse 9. It says, and when he had spoken these things, while they beheld, he was taken up, and a cloud received him out of their sight. And while they looked steadfastly toward heaven as he went up, behold, 2 men stood by them in white apparel, which also said, ye men of Galilee, why stand ye gazing up into heaven? The same Yahushai which is taken up from you into heaven shall so come in like manner as ye have seen him go into heaven. And he went into heaven in a cloud, and he's coming back in a cloud. And it's a chariot, okay? It's a chariot, but for some that's too far-fetched, right? I don't believe it. I don't think there's any. No. Well, think about it. You don't believe it, but why is there so much a mystery and cloak and dagger? That's your homework. Go and look up what cloak and dagger is. Why is there so much mystery and cloak and dagger over the UFOs? All right, about what they are, who they are, little green men, not little green men. They're this, they're that, they're this, they're that. You know, why? Well, because they can't really give you the answer what they are, because people would literally shit their pants. Nowadays, you know, people aren't scared of little green men from Mars. Now, no. They're not, they're not afraid of any of that shit. Okay? They're not. And that's what it is. It's shit. All right? Little green men from out of our, invasion of the body snatchers. What's that other shit? There's another one. Close Encounters with the Third Kind. All sorts of bullshit. All sorts of bullshit. Little reptilian green men or some not reptilian, some are reptilian, some are blue, some are green, some are white, some are this, some are that, some are this, some are good, some are bad. That's all just a fucking distraction, man. All right, it's easier to explain little green men from Mars coming to shove something up your ass. That shows you that it was Esau that made that, by the way. If you want any defining factor that shows you Esau was the one that made up the little green men, it's Esau, because he's like, what should we have them do? We're gonna come over there and still have them put shit up your ass. They like to put shit up your ass. That's what they like to do. Make that in there. Put that in the crop circles and picking up cows, and they like to put shit in your ass. We like that one. That one's good. Put that one in there. That's how you know Esau made it, right? Because they want to put shit in your ass. That's Esau. Want to know why? Because Esau wants to put shit in your ass, right? It's ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous. But it's easier to explain that than, big bearded black men, all right, that are, really the Israelites, and the people that we said were the Israelites are not. We lied. They're actually, they're actually Khazars and, Romani and a mix of other people that are really European. That are, oh, by the way, the Europeans, most of us primarily, most of the white people, not all of us, but most of us were actually Edomites, guys. Yeah, the one of the, well, I know we can't really understand the Bible, but we were watching those Hebrew Israelite guys. And yeah, we're the Edomites. We've known for a while. We talked to the Rothschilds. The Rothschilds know. Their actually name was originally Rothschild, all right, which means red shield. And they proclaim that they're Edomites, so they do know that. And anyway, guys, we're going into slavery real soon, so it's going to be real bad. So we got to put up a good fight. We got to get all their militaries together, because it's the Lord. It's not Jesus. We lied about that. His name's actually Yahushai, and the Father's name is actually Yahweh. And they're black men, and they're coming back angry because we enslaved his people, and it's going to be real bad. Anyway, we're going to have all of our guns, and we're going to shoot at them. We should be fine. We're going to have missiles and bombs and guns and nukes, and we're just going to launch at them. But we have to have everybody gathered. Come on, they're not going to ever brief you like that. Maybe at the very end, they might try to do something, right? But they're like, we got to come against them. This is an alien invasion. They might try to throw some shit out there like that, right? There's going to be an alien invasion. We got to gather our forces. If you have guns, fight. If you have missiles, fight. Well, you aren't really going to have guns, right? Because they're going to try to take them all away, and, we'll see how that goes. But there's going to be a whole bunch of chaos. But who knows what their last-ditch efforts are going to be at the end. But they can't say that. They can't give you that. Little green men from outer space like putting shit up your butt. That's what it is. We don't know if they're here or not. We don't know. Here's some not Vatican. Here's some documents from the White House, and we don't really know. They could be. We're not going to call them UFOs. They're UAPs now. Unidentified air phenomenon. Some are in balloons. Some are we don't really know. We have no idea, guys. So just take it with a grain of salt. But they're real. They exist. They're out there. It's easier. It's easier than telling you what I just told you, because that would be fucking terrifying. Had we been Edomites, we're like, oh shit, well, you mean we're Edomites, we're the only people in the Bible that aren't going to have any mercy again? Oh shit, and he's coming back to and we're going to slavery because oh fuck, right? You wouldn't want that. So of course you're not going to tell that to people. It would cause nothing but pure pandemonium. There's another vocabulary term you can look up. It would cause pure pandemonium. Okay, matter of fact, it's not homework because I want to get that one. Pandemonium. Okay, what is pandemonium? A wild, noisy uproar, unrestrained disorder, and utter chaos. Okay, it describes a situation of or location that's filled with tumult and confusion, loud commotion, lawlessness, people freaking out. Oh my God! You can't have that. You can't have that. So with that, they're not gonna have it. All right, they're gonna just lie and say, oh, it's little green men from Mars. We don't know. Someone might be violent, some might not be violent. So, we just don't really know. Anyway, another thing about being defended, right? Ecclesiastes 2:11 and 14. Us that know this knowledge, we got to hope and pray that we stay into this knowledge, all right? We stay into this and we don't bug out and start being that guy that has that guitar, Rakakasha, Rakakasha. If you remember that shit. That was years ago now. But Rakakasha, Rakakasha. All right. And and it's not just about having the names. It's not just about having the names. You have to have the names, but it's not just about having the names, because there's people out there that have the names that are bugged the fuck out. Like that guy, Rakakasha Yahweh, Rakakasha. He was saying the names, I believe. I believe he was saying the names, if I'm remembering correctly. I know for a fact that King David bug out. All right. He wasn't really King David. He talked like this. All right. And I can't remember. He was the one that was, we're having a Yahushua day. All right. And what do we got over there? We got dirty rice. All right. And he was all fucking fat. All right. It's just fat, just big ass, fucking balloon ass, fucking Porky Pig ass, fucking Fat Albert ass looking motherfucker, man. Like fucking what's that bitch's name? Veruca Salt looking ass. All right, fucking go to Willy Wonka and swell up like a fucking blueberry looking ass. All right, that's what he looks like. Fucking oompa loompa doopity doo. Gotta roll his big ass out the room. Completely ridiculous. And they called upon Yahweh Meow Shai. So it shows you, man, you can call on the name, but eventually the name is going to be taken away from you. All right, might be a week, might be a month, might be a year, but eventually it's going to get taken away from you. You'll start calling on some other name. All right, that's what happened to One Body in Yahweh Shai. All right, can't remember what they changed their. I think it's just One Body now, but they don't have that. One Body in Yahweh Shai. They changed their title. So yeah, man, it's just Yeah, so let's get this. So you need to continue in this. Pray that you continue in this and don't end up bugging out or going some sideways route. All right, Ecclesiastes 2:11 through 14. For the Lord is full of compassion and mercy, long-suffering and very pitiful, and forgiveth sins and saveth in time of affliction. Woe be to fearful hearts and faint hands, and the sinner that goeth two ways. Woe unto him that is faint-hearted. Okay? I can't handle this. Right? Or another word for that's really, faint-hearted really means, it's a nicer term for weak if you really want to get down to it. Faint-hearted, it means someone who lacks courage, is timid, avoids taking risks. And see, that's Esau's definition, because circumspect is a lack of taking risk. But not for the faint-hearted, which means it's not an activity. It requires experience. The challenge is extreme, intense, and requires serious mental fortitude. And this is true. We need an extreme mental fortitude in this. All right. Woe unto him that is faint-hearted. I can't handle it. I can't handle that the world's gonna be destroyed. I can't. Not the world, but Babylon. I can't handle it. All right. Well, you can't handle the heat, man. Get out the kitchen. Woe unto him that is faint-hearted, for he believeth not. Therefore shall he not be defended. Woe unto you that have lost patience. And what will ye do when the Lord shall visit you? So what are you going to do, man? All right. What are you going to do? You're not going to do anything. All right. Well, you're going to run to the rocks. The rocks will be boiling when you run to the rocks. That's what's going to happen. Right? How does that one go? What is that song? It's by, I think it's by Barrington Levy. Barrington Levy. Run to the rocks. Old good reggae. Right? It's, that's not it. But, run, come ya. Sinner Man, it's Peter Tosh. That's who I'm thinking of. Peter Tosh, not Barrington Levy. But Barrington Levy has, Come Run Ya. Okay? Lyrics. I want to see the lyrics now because they said this one has it too. And, Benjamin with it. Close, but no Sakara, because they call upon Jah. And it's Yahweh. Let me see it's missing lyrics. Come run ya. We can't find that, but we can find Sinner Man, or it's really dealing with Esau. Primarily is what I take it as, but it's really there's other people that aren't Esau. They're gonna try to run to the rocks, but really it's gonna be Esau that tries to do it. It says, "Oh sinner man, where are you gonna run to? Oh sinner man, where are you gonna run to all along the day? You're gonna run to the sea. The sea was a boiling, right? You run to the rock. The rock was a melting, right? So run to the Lord. You run to the Lord. Lord, won't you hide me? Lord say, sinner man, you should be praying. You run to the devil. The devil was waiting. Oh, sinner man, where are you going to run to? Right? Look this up. Peter Tosh, Sinner Man. Run to the sea. Sea was a boiling when you run to the sea. It's a good song. You should check it out. All right. So, you check that one out. And, War in a Babylon. All right, I've always loved this. It's great because the Apostle Gabar actually just mentioned it the other day, right? I was like, oh, he mentioned it. It's a good song. This is Max Romero and Romeo, and the Upsetters. War in a Babylon. War in a Babylon. Tribal war in a Babylon. It's simple out there. Right? Anyway, and another one is Mystery Babylon. Mystery Babylon. Your queendom has fallen. Right? Here's another one for you. Problem with this one is down here when it talks about, it uses that term Jah. Alright, but until that, it's a pretty good song. Alright? So, you see it. Give me back me gold, me ruby and diamond. Yep, because you stole from everybody. It's talking about Ethiopia. A lot of people think everything came out of Ethiopia, but, you know, these people don't know what's going on. All right, our people are, we love our people, but our people are fucked up in the head. So we don't love all our people. We love our people that really aren't doing wickedness, but we'd like all of our people to get it. We do have a love still, all right, for all of our people, but we hate the wicked of our people as well. It's kind of hard to explain how you love and hate at the same time, but we love our people, but they're wrong right now. We love them enough that we wish they would get better, but we also are not dumb enough to know to think that they're all going to get better. We know that a lot of our people are going to be destroyed. So, like it says in verse Ecclesiastes 2:11 again, or 2:14, excuse me. Woe unto you that have lost patience, and what will you do when the Lord shall visit you? You're going to try to run, you're going to try to hide, all right? But you're not going to have any defense, man. So that's where we're going to close out. How long we end up going? 25 minutes. All right, so that's a lesson. We're going to close out there. Lord will is edifying. Again, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High. Yahweh, Shemi Hawashai, Shemar Kakwadash. Shalom, you brothers and sisters out there. Keep enduring, keep the faith. We're almost out of here. Till next one, Lord willing. Shalom.